Hi, La Jolla Babylon is excited to announce that we will be recording a live episode on June 15th, 2025. That's Father's Day. We'll be at Young Ethel's in Park Slope, Brooklyn, New York. The show is at 2:30 p.m. Please RSVP by writing to lajollababylon@gmail.com. Or just show up. It's going to get super uncomfortable. And Katie and I can't wait to see you there. Hello and welcome to La Jolla Babylon, Season 2, The Education of a Suburban Punk, a podcast where I read stories of my undersupervised Gen X youth to my coddled millennial little sister, writer, actor, and comedian, Katie Hartman. I'm your host, Aaron Hartman. And if you like what you hear, please share this podcast with someone who you think will like it too. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'll ask again now that we're recording. What's going on with your beard?
Well, the thing about hair and beards especially is if you do nothing, you're doing something.
It's a choice.
But it's a kind of a passive choice, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just kind of...
Yeah, I understand.
I'm just living my life.
I'm now 40 and had to make a choice whether or not to take my IUD out. I get it. I get passive choices.
That's right. That's not passive. I don't know. I don't think I would call that passive.
What are you talking about? I could just not.
That's true. That's true. You know, that is like the most active passive choice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now for really David, it's more passive.
Right.
Yeah. Unless he yanks it out of me.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just picturing his face being like, is this right? Is this the right thing? Do I pull this one?
Welcome to La Jolla Babylon, episode 7. You know what you're in for, so This shouldn't be a surprise at this point. It's true.
I just feel like the way that the angle that your beard is sticking out of your chin is... you know what? Weird? Well, it's a little Amish from this angle, but now I'm remembering our dad at one point, those pictures of him with that really awful neck beard.
Oh, from the 60s?
Yeah.
Or the 70s?
Yeah, gross. Really weird looking.
Well, he would do the no mustache beard.
Yeah.
I think he did the no mustache beard as he was graduating medical school. So the picture of of his class is like, you know, all of these, you know, young doctors standing on some steps with their, you know, in their lab coats and ties. And then dad, you know, he also had kind of a bit of a receding hairline. So it looked like this whole O. It's just like a big O of hair.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, at least grow your eyebrows thicker. So we have a breakup of the face skin.
Yeah, a breakup of the face, yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So I think I am gonna have to do something with this, but you know, I like pulling on it, you know. No.
Like a wizard, like Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you doing? What's been your world like?
Oh, I'm
what's
good.
Your world been like?
I'm just I had some shows this week. Wait, did I? I had at least one show this week. I don't know. Time is weird. I need to find more work. Do you got a job for me?
Me. Huh.
Yeah. So things are good. Everything's fine. Nothing's bad. Everything's good. That's the update.
That's boring.
Well, it's not true either.
Okay, good.
Everything sucks. No, it's fine. No, good. I'm just kidding. I manifest light and love.
Mm-hmm.
No, things are fine. Yeah, what's up with you?
I went to Sylvia's Girl Scout meeting last night because parents were required to go to this one because it's it was the cookie meeting. I was going to say the cookie episode. You know, I mean, she's been a Girl Scout more than half of her life.
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten a lot of cookies because of her.
That's right. And so every year at cookie time, we have to go and be sort of explained to about how the whole system works. And I felt myself panicking in this room because the meetings are in a church.
What kind of church? Like, what's the denomination? Do you know?
I know. I'm bad at. I think it's a Catholic church because I'm only there at
Are there
7 p.m.
Is Jesus hanging up in front of you, and is he bloody?
That means Catholic.
I mean, it's closer. Yeah, if he's really agonizing and looking up, he's like rolling his eyes back and going like, "I did this for you."
Right. Real passive aggressive.
Yeah, as opposed to a little bit nicer. I mean, like, I did this for you.
Which is that one?
I feel like that's more like Christianity rather than Catholicism.
Okay.
But that's also just, who am I? I don't go to church. I did go to...
Yeah, but...
I went to Catholic church like every Sunday growing up. However, our services were held in a Lutheran church.
This is what I'm talking
growing
about.
Up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a Catholic church where other denominations come in.
I see what you're saying.
Do their thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But so, and also we come in through the back door.
That's where the Jews come in?
That's right. Jews enter through the kitchen.
Jews and Girl Scouts.
It's so weird to be in a church. All the books are churchy and Jesus-y. I just feel like there's something cheesy about the painting of the cross backlit by like a sunset or whatever.
So some say cheesy and some say
inspiring.
Community.
I know.
Some say comforting. Just depends on how you judge it.
Oh, I'm not judging.
No, of course not. No, you? Not with that beard. How dare you?
That's right. Okay. So can we talk about this episode that you're about to deal with?
I'd love to be informed with what I'm about to deal with, yes.
Yeah. Well, this is the one I've been most kind of self-conscious about. I like it, but I was definitely not thinking about these words being like broadcast into your ears when I wrote it.
Mine personally?
Well, kind of. I mean, like, just because this is the sex episode.
Oh, okay.
We've arrived.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think that you informed me way back when that this was going to be a thing. I don't think you were like, "Hey, do you want to do this podcast with me? What are your stories? By the way, at some point, you're gonna hear the dirty deeds."
We're halfway through season 2. I think that, eventually it was going to happen.
I guess I didn't know.
Which is what I kept telling myself.
Yeah. Not saying it out loud to me. Okay, cool. All right. Well. Yeah.
So you'll be happy to know that Lizzie is mentioned again, a.k.a. you. So when you hear that Lizzie shows up, it's you.
Oh, boy. Okay. And how old am I?
I'd have to do math for that. You would have been, you would have been...
I was like 4.
6?
6? Okay.
Yeah, you would have been 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And am I cute?
Is that part of the story?
Sure.
Does that help move? Does that
no?
help
Am
move
I
the narrative
cute
along?
Right now? How much of this sex story is about me? Just kidding. Don't answer that. And thanks to me, my teen brother lost his virginity. It was so funny when you were like, this is the episode I'm most self-conscious about. And I was like, do you mean your writing? Do you mean the way you've... No.
Well, I mean, that's its own episode, I think. And the other part of this is a story about me and my high school girlfriend. And this whole series of chapters is really about me or Adam or whatever. And all the other characters are there as well. And I don't want to tell their story. I want to tell my story. Mm-hmm. And so, but I have to sort of, they're there too. And so I don't really know how to deal with that because we can talk about this maybe on the other side. But
okay.
There are some things that happen in this that I kind of made up, and there's some other things that I had to kind of embellish to sort of make work.
Okay. So depending on what I hear in this episode, I may or may not ask about those things.
Feel free to ask about them. No. I mean, it's all fine.
Your dick was 12 inches?
God, I hate you so much.
You did this to yourself.
Well.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to listen.
Yeah. Okay.
And by can't wait, I mean, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Everything's fine. Nothing's bad. Yeah. Everything's good. Okay.
Just imagine. You know what? Because it's Adam. It's not Aaron.
No,
it's just some guy. Yeah. That's right.
Great.
All right. I will send you the link. All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Ugh.
Oh, this is so funny. I'm just leaving all this in because you just hung up on the Zoom. You said bye, but then you hung up on the Zoom right before you said, ew. That's what I laughed at.
Hairier. Beth was new. She transferred as a senior. Most people starting Muir Alternative School as seniors had been expelled from other schools for violence or dealing drugs. We all kept our distance for a while. She was short and had large eyes and an easy smile. We had a few classes together, and I stared at her with what I hoped was a penetrating gaze. She always left campus for lunch, and on most days returned wearing a Burger King crown. Frank leaned over, took out his wallet, and asked me and Beth to go out and buy a dozen donuts for everyone in government class, and to keep the change. He gave us enough money to buy 50 donuts. Beth drove her 1980 Honda Civic, and I sat in the passenger seat, white-knuckling the armrest. She told me later that she was nervous with me in the car, but after we got to know each other, I learned that she pretty much always drove like a maniac. She stopped at red lights as if they were stop signs, checking both directions and bursting through the intersection with a screech. She hit curbs. She screamed at other cars in a tone I never could have guessed would come from her sweet frame. I was falling in love. I invited her to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show on the eve of my 18th birthday. She offered to drive, even though she lived close to the theater and I did not. It would mean an extra 50 miles of driving for her. I was waiting outside my mom's house, my hair freshly washed and hanging down my lower back. We talked about music and interpreting our dreams on the way to the theater. Beth was into music the same way I was. Have you ever been to Seattle? I think I'm going to go to college up there so I can go to shows. Have you ever heard Scream? The drummer plays in Nirvana now, but Scream rule way harder. But pretty much I would give anything to see Tad. Fucking Tad. I could die and go to heaven if Tad would pour a pitcher of beer on me. I've never heard Tad. Fuck, dude, we need to hang out. You should come over and check out my drum set and we'll listen to Tad. I can only play during the day because I live in an apartment, but I can listen to music as loud as I want. Do you like Jane's Addiction? Please say no. No. God, finally, what is it with that band? Ooh, I'm a David Bowie ripoff with some Guns N' Roses thrown in for marketing. She was searching for a tape on the floor near my feet and swerving across the lane. Can I find something for you? Yeah, actually, steer for a sec. She started taking her sweater off as I reached over to grab the wheel. Ordinarily, I would have tried to look at her tits in that split second, but instead, I watched the road and held us steady as she took her time rummaging around. She eventually came up with a BASF 100-minute tape. I made myself the perfect Led Zeppelin mixtape. No crunge, no Stairway, no Black Dog. Slip it in. I did. Kashmir started playing, like Fast Times at Ridgemont High in real life. Beth looked at me and smiled. Something was happening. Strings of invisible chemicals were floating around, already tying us together. We sat in the back of the Ken Theater, whispering to each other, both terrified by the prospect of humiliation at the hands of the Rocky Horror regulars. I don't remember the movie very well. Even with all the confetti and dry humping on stage, I was more concerned with how close Beth's arm was to mine. I thought I could feel some sort of heat coming off her, like we were already holding hands. The end credits rolled, and we somehow remained unmolested by each other or anyone else. She drove me home, and we sat in her car outside the house. She parked and wrenched the emergency brake up, since the hill was steep. Jesus, I hope we don't roll back. I had just turned 18 a couple hours ago. We were holding hands for real now, our fingers playing little games. After a while, she asked if she could touch my hair. Yes, she could. Then I asked, "By the way, what part of the world is your family from?" I had thought about the way to phrase that question for days. I knew I didn't want to say, "What are you?" but I really wanted to know. Guess. She started stroking the veiny part of my wrist. It felt awesome. I don't want to get this wrong. Are you Filipino? She dug her nails into my flesh. Okay, so not Filipino. Jesus. What? Where? She said, "I'm half Japanese and half Native American." What about you? I'm just white, American, Jewish. 3 of my grandparents were born in Russia, I think. Is that why your hair is so blonde? She sat on the emergency brake and began to run her fingers under my collar. It's so thick. Do you bleach it? No, I just don't cut it. Sometimes when I eat a grapefruit, I'll dry my fingers in my hair, but that's it. Wow, I really like it a lot. We sat together, breathing hard, fingers clasped in one hand, and Beth and I playing with each other's hair in the other. Then we kissed. We kissed and kissed and kissed. I did what I could to keep her away from my penis. Not that she was grabbing for it, but I didn't want her knowing I was hard. Which I was. It was nearly dawn by the time I walked into my bedroom, turned my stereo on, and danced around to Jimi Hendrix. I could finally say, yes, I too had recently been to Electric Ladyland. Beth and I went to lunch together every day after that. We talked about what needed to happen between us before we could have sex. She wanted to wait until we said I love you to each other. We started going to her 2-bedroom apartment she shared with her mother, skipping our after-lunch class so we could spend time together, getting more and more naked as the weeks went by. The apartment was pretty small, at the end of a long, circular driveway with huge speed bumps positioned every 20 feet or so. Her tailpipe scraped each time she crawled over one. The first time she brought me home, she warned me that her mother was very religious. She's Catholic, like she has a shrine to St. Peter in her bedroom. She goes to church 5 days a week. If she wasn't my mother, I'd think she was a religious nut, but she's my mom, so I don't know. Is she okay with me being here? I mean, does she know what we do in your room? Should I hide if she comes home? Hide? You'd hide from her? You'll meet my mom and understand how fucking lame that sounds. No, my mom does not put any of her Jesus stuff on me. She's the best. We're buds. Beth came over one weekend, and we messed around in my room for a while. I had my alarm clock set to one of the 4 classic rock stations. We were on the mattress pile I called my bed. Beth unbuckled my belt. I opened my Levi's by pulling the buttons apart, which had a dramatic stripper effect. Fuck, dude, in a hurry? Just kidding. She reached in and put her fingers around my innocent dick. I lay back, and she tugged my pants around my ankles. Foxy Lady came on. I managed to say, so, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna make a mess. I know. I want to. I love it. She kissed the head with her eyes closed, and I believed she did love it. I thought about how I would forever be linked to Jimi Hendrix, and halfway through the second verse, I came all over my own chest. I was getting closer to telling her I loved her. Beth smoked Marlboros and drank lots of Pepsi products. She told me my semen tasted way better than her ex-boyfriend's because he was a smoker and a drinker, and all I did was drink coffee. Beth and I confessed our love right around the time that I found out we'd have my dad's house to ourselves on New Year's Eve. We planned to spend the night together and to see what happened. We let ourselves in and made the most elaborate dinner we knew how. Then we went upstairs to my room. We unfolded the couch into a bed and lay down next to each other. She was not a virgin and apologized several times. She also told me, wrapped in my arms, that she was neither Japanese nor Native American. Her family was ethnic Hmong from Laos, but she wanted to be something else, so she made up different combinations every time anyone asked. We're 100% Hmong. The H is silent. I said, "There's an H?" I turned out the light and nuzzled against her with my young, clean body. Then we did it a bunch. I remember feeling love, ready to commit, there and then. Irony was scheduled to play an early show the next afternoon at a friend's house in Pacific Beach, so we had to get up and leave my dad's to pick up my bass and amp right after breakfast. Beth wanted me to cancel, but I would not. Then we had our first fight. We got to the show an hour before anyone else. Anton arrived and suggested we cancel since it looked like no one was coming. Beth sat on the front curb, smoking, not talking to my band, not coming in to see us play. Then we had our second fight. I could feel my sticky underwear, and my sweat smelled stronger, denser, like garlic and weed. I wondered if I looked different. It's shocking to me that I didn't tell anyone about what had happened at my dad's house just a few hours before. About 2 months into our relationship, the sex was starting to get less embarrassing. We would always do it 3 times in a row. The first 2 times, I'd come within seconds. The third time, I would usually be able to last for at least 5 minutes, and she would be able to orgasm with me, which changed everything. She met me on the street before school started. "Hey, do you need to go to class today? I need to talk to you. I am freaking out." She had been crying. No, yeah, I can ditch. Where do you want to go?" "To get a pregnancy test. I'm fucking pregnant. I know I am." In life, you get these moments where you wish you can go back in time and undo something. Car crashes are like that. In the ambulance you go, "If only I'd been more patient, I could have avoided this tragedy." Or, as you see your mom cry, you go, "Did I need to be so mean?" Or, as you get arrested, you go, "That roof was probably not the best place for me to take a shit." Hypotheticals. In these moments, you can't believe you're in this thing for real. Am I really going to be a teenage father? Is college really out the window? I have no skills. I should have learned how to do something. Utterly fucked, over and over. I told my first and second period teachers I was going to need to miss class, and they both said to take care of myself without pause or judgment. I loved my school. We went to the nearest drugstore and bought a pregnancy test and zipped over to Beth's house. I sat on her bed while she peed on the stick. Were we really going to be the 1% that gets pregnant on the pill? Yes, we were. The stick turned blue, or didn't turn blue, I can't remember. It was not the good version. The good version if you're in high school and you're kind of a mess. She came out of the bathroom crying, and we hugged on her bed for about 5 minutes, her hot face buried into my neck. I tried to coax her into having sex, but she untangled herself and got up. I asked, "What do you want to do?" "I want to throw up. I can't do this. I can't be pregnant. I can't tell my mom. I'd rather just die." Her body was shaking, and she squeezed my hand. "I don't think you're pregnant. I don't. I don't feel it." I was letting tears roll down my face. I wanted her to see that I was crying, that that I was with her in this. We should talk about what's going to happen if I am. You're not. I think I am. Fuck. The next 2 days were the worst. Crying and overthinking scenarios where we move to Santa Cruz and take turns going to community college, eventually getting into UC Santa Cruz, the only school we ever talked about going to. I told my dad about it. We were at Lizzie's soccer practice, sitting on the grass. My heart almost cracked when I finally spilled about why I was being so quiet. When did she have her last period? Is she good at taking the pill at the same time every day? You say her periods had been irregular before the pill? Do you think she could have stopped taking it without telling you? He was being scientific, which I appreciated. Dad liked Beth. Everyone did, except my mom. Has she taken a blood test? No, just the stick you pee on. Oh, he said with confidence. Those are terrible. You can't trust them. They're consumer grade. Very unreliable. She needs to go to a lab and get a blood test. That's the only way to know. Otherwise, you're just twisting in the breeze. I can make the appointment if you wish. He looked at me and smiled. He looked at me and smiled with his eye. He looked at me and smiled with his eyes. I felt safe for the first time. I felt safe for the first time in a while. Beth called the next morning. I just threw up. Okay, I thought, this is happening. She was furious that I talked to my father, but grateful to hear about the blood test. She called the next afternoon and told me she got an accurate test and was not pregnant. She went to the clinic, and the doctor told her she must have had a surge of hormones or something, and she had probably been late for her period because of the stress of the idea of being pregnant. A vicious cycle. I could feel my own stress level dissipate after hearing this. My hunched shoulders physically lowered. Beth told me she wanted to take a break for a while, but I would not let her. I was too young to know when to give someone space. I was also too naive to understand that she had gotten an abortion without telling me. It wasn't until we saw each other again 10 years later that she told me the truth. I was upset for about 1 minute. I sulked that she did not turn to me in crisis, but then my anger and shame quickly turned to gratitude. I don't know that I would have been much help in a crisis. That bullet I thought we dodged together had been taken by Beth alone, and I had no idea what she went through. I was in San Diego to visit my father as he recovered from one of his surgeries. Beth and I went out to a movie, shot some pool, drank some beers, and went back to her apartment and had quick, unsatisfying sex. I held her legs in a position I remembered from high school, but she was less flexible and was clearly uncomfortable. Once or twice, she whispered, "I can't believe you're here in bed with me." I stayed over, and in the morning we went to breakfast at the Jewish deli near her house, and basically sat in silence. Not total silence. She did ask me one question. "Have you gotten hairier?" I said I didn't know, but I did. I had.
Okay, that was a lot of whiplash. All right.
And we're back. I know.
I mean...
I know. There's...
Yeah.
I know. I just listened to it a couple nights ago. I know. It's a weird one.
I mean, I get it.
Tell me, what do you mean?
Oh, I just mean like... I mean, you crying?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to leave that in, but I just.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I probably. I mean, it's sort of depending on what you think.
Me, yeah. I sort of thought that you would ask me that because I feel like I remember you.
Is it too much?
I mean, I don't think I'm the person. I could shorten it. I mean, it's a lot, but also like it's very honest. Mm-hmm. I think for anybody who doesn't have the context, mm-hmm. They will not know. But
why I all of a sudden just start crying in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't know why. It just that really.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is I get it. It's like this really beautiful moment of him there helping you out.
Yeah.
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 God, I wish I had gotten pregnant when I was a teen so that Dad could help me out. So that Dad could offer to take me to get a blood test. That we had had that moment together.
I know. I'm so lucky. I'm so much older. I got to have.
Yeah. You got to have all the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It did. Yeah, because for that first part, I was very much like, okay, we got it. I was very much in jokey land throughout all the sex stuff, and then I was like, oh boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, me crying is not really part of. I mean, it's sort of like it's like it wasn't part of the story. It wasn't part of but it was part of my experience making this podcast. So 100%. I kind of felt like.
Yeah.
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 Well,
no, definitely.
Either this will all get taken out and no one will have any idea that this conversation even happened, or I'll leave enough of this in and the crying, or at least part of it.
Yeah, I will say that it's a really great look into that era of falling in love and like, mm-hmm. Finding the first person you're going to have sex with.
Yeah.
My up top, truly my favorite line. Sometimes when I eat a grapefruit, I'll dry my fingers in my hair. Wait, let me try another reading. I don't know yet. Sometimes when I eat a grapefruit, I dry my fingers in my hair. So funny. Like, so funny. What a great line.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not agreeing with you that that's a great line, but
you can.
But
you can take credit. It's very funny. I hope you actually said that, and that's not just something you wrote. The realization that she had an abortion that's heavy. That's heavy, man.
So this is what I want to talk about is I still don't know if that was true.
Oh.
Yeah. So the part where she tells me that that's what happened 10 years later, that I made up.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you see her 10 years later?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But because the issue of her all of a sudden not being pregnant, it wasn't like I distrusted her, but all evidence pointed to her being pregnant. Like, I wasn't even suspicious. It was more like at some point I was like, oh shit, did she just have, because I remember there was some period where I didn't see her for a few days or something, or she was, you know what I mean? And
and then she was like, I'm all good now. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I kind of created a version,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, because this is, like I said, this is my story, and I'm not trying to tell this other person's story.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. That's just how I made sense of it.
Yeah.
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 But she did really ask me if I got hairier.
No. It's a perfect button because I laughed so hard. I laughed. And then I cried, and then I laughed.
Yes.
So,
wait, are you saying this was a perfect episode? Are you saying that?
Unfortunately, the sex episode was the perfect episode, with the caveat of our dead dad helping out. He really dunked it for you. Got a little ghost dad slam dunk. Not to invoke Bill Cosby into this, but who our dad also thought was very funny.
I mean, I think the world thought he was funny. I think you know what? He was funny.
He was funny, just a monster.
Funny. Just a monster. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, when you were, when you were writing it, were you just like, oh, this is good. This is too far. Oh, this is not enough. Like, how did you decide to do that?
I didn't want to make it titillating. You know what I mean? But like.
Yeah.
But
great job. I was not titillated whatsoever, but hey, but hey, listeners, if you were titillated at all, why don't you write into the podcast? So, let us know out of 1 to 5 stars. Rate us on how much you were titillated in this episode.
Yeah. How many times did you rewind certain sections? Rewind. Oh my God. So. Yeah, I mean, I think it took me a long time to write about the arc between me and the girlfriend, because I wanted to get her right, and sort of the feeling of falling in love for the first time, and
yeah, and
then kind of like, without having a full-on sex scene. Do you know what I mean? Without having, like the camera turn away from the bed to like some billowing window, shades,
Yeah, flickering candle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think you set yourself up also well. I mean, just the driving in the car, you describing her driving and her being like, yeah, can you steer for a second, is so funny. And I can also just see you, as you have described yourself in the past, season and a half, being like, who is this woman?
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. And also like, she's talking to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oof. That was
but
cool.
Also it's the her not coming in to see your band play is super crazy. Stuff like that. That's so high school. I hope only high school and not if you're in a band and your partner won't go see you play in your band, you should not be together probably. Unless you're Dolly Parton and I'm talking about your husband who stays home. That's a perfect relationship.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's great.
You're right.
That's great.
Right.
Don't bug Dolly for it, but anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to capture that web of kind of like chemical interaction between people was super strong, and like I was like, we're supposed to play at noon, and we have to leave at 9 to go to my mom's house and get my amp, and then we have to set up, and then like we get there and no one's there because I'm the most uptight person, and so just the rage on her side.
Yeah.
It's impossible to be a teenager.
Oh, yeah. I mean? No, it was a perfect button, the hairy.
Oh,
Did you get hairier? I had.
Thank you.
Listener, I had. And I'm sure since then, too.
Continually, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think she'll listen to this? Do you have any contact with her?
We are definitely not in contact, not, friends on the social media at all. Yeah. No, I don't think she's going to listen to this.
No. It's fine. And you also, it's nothing disparaging.
No, but it's a thing of like, because I tell it as if she had an abortion.
Right. No, I get it.
And I don't know if she has or not, or not. Do you know what I mean? That's the fucked up thing about me telling this story.
Wow. Is there anything else that I got distracted that you wanted to talk about?
No, I feel great. I'm glad that this one is kind of out of the way because, like I said, I was pretty self-conscious about it. Well, let's end this guy here. Thank you for, like I said, dealing with this. And
you're
can I
welcome.
tell you real quick about what we're going to be listening to next week?
Sure.
Okay. It's going to be 3 chapters, 48, 49, and 50.
Ooh, we did it.
Yeah, I know. And it is about Adam checking out colleges and then realizing that he's got to make another plan.
Santa Cruz was my second choice school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you apply to it?
Oh, yeah, I got in. Yeah.
You got in?
To Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
Did you not? Is that what's coming up?
No, I never applied there.
Well, this was very fun.
Yeah. Thanks for this. All right. See you next week. And this was really fun. Thank you.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye. Everything sucks. No, it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. I manifest light and love.
Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on Instagram, or you can send us an old-timey email at lajoyababylon@gmail.com. If you like what you heard, please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Your 5-star rating will help others find this fucking podcast. Please check out the show notes for links to Katie's comedy, the music you heard, and a complete transcript of the show. La Jolla Babylon Season 2, The Education of a Suburban Punk, was written, produced, and edited by Aaron Hartman, with music by Aaron Hartman, co-piloted by Katie Hartman. Presented in association with Ruinous Media. To hear more episodes of this show or other Ruinous Media podcasts, please go to ruinousmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.